Hi there, this is my reflection number 4 assignment, and today we're going to do a reassessment of feelings, attitudes, values, and beliefs surrounding geriatric, palliative, and hospice care. So we did do a reflection like this earlier today, and I'm just going to be answering the questions on the computer with the best of my ability. The first question is, describe feelings, attitudes, values, and beliefs related to geriatric, palliative, and hospice care. So during my first reflection, I stated that I was really nervous. I probably wouldn't really like doing geriatric, palliative, and hospice care because I'd probably be sad all the time. I wouldn't be comfortable with that kind of environment. That's, a little bit depressing in my opinion. And of course, I wouldn't want countertransference and transference to happen during the relationship. And I just never had a lot of exposure to this area. So that's basically the reasons why I thought I wouldn't be good or I wasn't comfortable in the geriatric, palliative, and hospice care. Now that we've learned a little bit more during the special populations course, I do feel slightly a little bit more confident because I do know how to approach geriatric, palliative, and hospice care patients. I do know how to position them, modify them based on their conditions such as high blood pressure, if they have any skin irritations, any other chronic or acute conditions. I do know how to treat that or how to approach that based on this course. And of course, the palliative and hospice care, I do know how to kind of apply communication techniques there, since you don't want that countertransference and transference to happen, but you also want to it's kind of hard because you want to show sympathy, but at the same time you don't want to be too sympathetic that it just crosses boundaries. So I feel like this course really kind of prepared me and established therapeutic goals for myself in relation to these populations. Do you feel confident to treat these populations next semester? Honestly, I'm going to say no. I feel like I have all the knowledge up here, but I don't have the knowledge practically hands-on. So that's my biggest thing. For me, I learn much better when I'm actually doing it rather than, reading a book or watching videos or doing online classes. Even though the material was very helpful, it was very informative, I feel like if I actually went to go treat a palliative patient, hospice patient, geriatric patient, I'd probably freeze. I wouldn't be in my comfort zone. So of course I'd be a little bit more nervous, forgetful because of those nerves. But of course I feel like with time that will change. Next question. Make connections to knowledge gained in MSTH 307. So as mentioned earlier, this course has really prepared me how to communicate with these certain patients, how to get a detailed health history, subjective and objective information, and how to modify and treat these people. How to modify and adjust the assessment and the treatment based on their current presentation. So I feel like this course has definitely prepared me that way, with a lot of background knowledge on different kinds of conditions, fatigue, dementia, respiratory conditions, circulatory conditions. A lot of the group assignments and Google Docs were group oriented, so it's nice because I thought it was a good idea that we could feed off of each other and kind of pick each other's brains and kind of collaborate with that. And I thought that was great because then obviously some people know more and some people have more experience in these kinds of populations than myself or other people, right? So it was really good to collaborate on information and ideas that way. Do learning gaps still exist? So for me, personally, learning gaps exist for myself. Geriatric, palliative, and hospice care isn't really my niche, so I don't take a lot of extra time out of class to study this population. I do a lot of research on my own time on athletes, and I actually am really interested in pediatric as well, so I'm kind of circulating the internet and also learning more about these populations during my spare time, not really the geriatric, palliative, and hospice care. So there is a learning gap that exists there because it's not something that I'm really interested in. So I don't really take the time out of class time and out of assignments to really educate myself about this topic and educate myself about this population. And of course, the learning gap exists as I don't have practical experience. So we do have an on-campus internship. However, we don't actually have a lot of older people come in. When I mean older, I'm talking like 75 plus. We don't have a lot of those patients come in because it is in a college, right? We do have a lot of college students, younger students that are athletic, postural conditions, So we're kind of more comfortable treating that population. So there is a learning gap that exists because we didn't have the opportunity to do our off-campus placements. We didn't have the opportunity to rotate those placements. So we don't have a lot of experience with that. So that learning gap exists because even though we had clinical internship online off campus, there's only so much you can learn through a screen, right? You would really need the practical application. And because of COVID, not everyone has access to treat geriatric palliative or hospice care. Not everybody has grandparents here. Not everybody has relatives in their house that are older, right? So it's definitely a learning gap that has to kind of be closed. And that can be closed by doing extra research on your own time. Even though I don't like it, I should probably, take the time on YouTube and credible resources to look at how massage therapy can help these populations and what techniques you can apply based on their presenting conditions. If applicable, identify which gaps in learning still exist and actions you will take to fill these gaps. So basically, I already explained what gaps exist, but what I will do is more on my spare time. I won't completely cut out researching athletic people in pediatrics and postural conditions. I will kind of split my time half and half. So one day I can do the athletic population, but on the other hand, I can do the geriatric palliative and hospice care and kind of research populations I'm not very well versed on, right? Because this obviously will apply to real life, but it's also going to apply to our OSCEs and to our MCQs, right? So if I don't know anything about the population and I don't research this, how will I know how to answer these questions, right? And how will I know that I'm competent in treating this population? So definitely I will have to, outside of class time, fill my learning gaps individually. So that's kind of the benefit of learning online, is because you have to show your initiative outside of class because there's only so much teachers can upload, so many assignments that they can give, right? But it's also our jobs as students to go outside the box and research by ourselves. And that goes for all the courses, not just special populations. That can go for advanced modalities and exercises, how a certain exercise can help with the geriatric palliative and hospice care, and things like that, as well as pathophysiology, right? How does the pathophysiology of a geriatric palliative and hospice care affect our treatment? So all in all these subjects tie in together, right? But we have to be competent in all those subjects, including treatment, assessment, modifications, communication, in order to serve the population of the geriatric palliative and hospice care and to provide an effective and safe treatment plan. So basically that is my reflection on number 4. That's my reassessment. So just to conclude, I do feel a little bit more confident from the start of the semester till now, because we have learned more information, we have done more assignments, we have done more tests. So that way, in my head, in my mind, I feel more confident, but am I actually ready to be competent and actually ready to massage somebody? Eventually I will. It will take me a couple times to kind of get used to it, just like with any population. Thank you for listening to my assignment.